morning, everyone. Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Thank you for tuning in today. Tuning and stopping almost came out at the same time. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings for today. Today we are on the featured sign of Leo. Brilliant, passionate, fire element of Leo. Courageous, strong, leader. Ego, ruled by the sun, right? The brilliance of the sun, the brightest star in our galaxy. That's what, the innate feeling that comes through with all Leos, because that's what they had as their guiding force. So it's pretty predominant when you meet a Leo. You recognize that. You recognize their pride and their dignity, and they want attention. They are definitely, the world is their stage. They're very dramatic. They have a flair about them. They are extremely creative. And they definitely are very, very generous in many, many ways. And I love them. I think they have great, beautiful energy. Yes, they can get a little fiery. They have that temperament. And it has a lot to do with what other planets, of course, are in their natal chart. But that's the featured sign for today. So with that, I always pick a highlighted connection, which Spirit always likes to have me read for you, because for some reason, this is a general reading, there's a predominance and a need for this particular highlighted connection to be spoken about today. What I am going to say is I've noticed very prominently that I'm getting repeats. So example, the featured sign of Aries this month, which is 4 or 5 days ago now. Oh, today's May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. So it was 5 days ago. I love Cinco de Mayo. I thought I'd wear bright and brilliant colors to represent my love for Cinco de Mayo. And anyway, the Aries featured sign had Cancer as a highlighted, done right in front of you. It's always something I'm not aware of until I do it. And then yesterday we had Cancer as the featured, and their highlighted was Aries. So there's a definite pull and draw for a lot of the water and fire signs. So I'm curious to see. Let's see who your highlighted connection is for today, Leo, being the fire, and see if it's going in the same theme. And then when I do this, I will definitely explain that I will be reading 3 major categories for this highlighted. Nope, you have Taurus. Okay, you changed the whole, and there must be something specific about Aries and Cancer, but that's cool. There's a lot of, not everybody, it's a general reading, but there's a lot of connections for those two, and it was beautiful. Wonderful readings. But yeah, so right now we have Taurus, and I love it. We are in Taurus season. I know we just did Leo and Taurus, though. I'm very familiar with this. It seems so bizarre. So this might be another one, but we are in May now, so we're starting May fresh, right? This is the first half of the month readings. I mentioned what you are. You are a fire element, full of determination. You are a fixed sign, ruled by the sun, and the power and the energy and the drive and the ego and the, knowing what you want, feeling confident, feeling that strength. The tarot card that represents you is the strength card, along with the sun. There's usually 1 or 2. And then here you have Taurus. We're in Taurus season through the 20th. We've been full in Taurus season. Taurus is the bull, known as the stubborn but definitely determined sign. I prefer to use that term. Very set in their inspirations, their dreams, their desires. They are willing to put in the work. They are incredibly steadfast. They are known to be kind of routine, not great about change. They do change, but it's a slower process for them. They're patient. They're kind, they're sensual, they are ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love. And so right now, all of the whole world, when we're in a certain specific season, the birthday season of each sign, the sun sign, everybody tends to get that energy if they choose to. If you have a lot of fire in your sign, you're going to feel it more when it's, a particular season for that particular element. If you have earth in your sign at all, you're going to feel more of a harmonious energy right now, and it's going to work in your favor. And Taurus is just really just one of those, they're natural, they're authentic, hardworking. Like I said, when they're ruled by Venus, it's about money. They are known as the money sign. they can really plant those seeds and toil and do the work necessary, you know, and they will. They are going to be routine. They're going to be accountable. They're going to be reliable. They're going to be very, like I said, steadfast. And then they're going to grow and amass a lot of wealth because of that. And this is a notoriously known thing for most Tauruses that I've known. If they're not in that field, whatever they do it to the very best of their ability, and they're very, very tried and true. So a lot of times that in itself, that is the ingredient, that is the mix for success. And so they are, like I said, a fixed sign, ruled by Venus. They love nature. You know, right now during this season, it's a beautiful time for all signs, but you, Leo, and Taurus together, being very strong-willed and yet very capable of creating amazing possibilities for yourself and each other, both independent. You can do it certainly separately, but bringing it together, it's a powerhouse kind of energy, and it's beautiful. And this is the time of year when the motivation's there, the energy's there, the planets are working in your favor. You want to plant the seed. You want to make sure that, you know, you've got it streamlined and detailed, and you're kind of really focusing, and you're, you know, putting all of your energy in the right places, in the right investments, in the right job, and valuing your time. And yet, it's a really beautiful time to take it down a few notches. You know, that fire ambitious part of you, Leo, can really kind of set now and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fine tune it, maybe go on a vacation, get into nature, which is one of the most healing times and things you can do, I should say. And, you know, cultivating an understanding with each other, a beautiful communication comes into mind. We had the moon go into Pisces, so there's always going to be this feeling when there's moons in different signs. Once again, we get that energy coming towards us. It's about being loving, being cooperative. There's harmony. There's a desire to give and receive. There's spirituality and fantasy and dreamlike and creativity. Pisces being one of the most creative signs, it brings that energy to the forefront for us. And we can utilize that should we choose to, right? It's always free will. But I feel like there's just these amazing readings that are happening for all the signs, and certainly for the two of you, Leo and Taurus, in just really starting to be extremely creative and knowing that it takes time, you know, being patient with that. This time of the month versus the end of the month is going to be pretty different. It's not that far away, but it's going to be vastly different, because Taurus is the earth sign, like I said, that's grounded and calming and, you know, natural and just kind of, you know, great about, actually really good about communication, you know, and a calm demeanor, you know, kind of a reserved, that you don't have to feel extra anxious about, you know. I mean, communication seems to come easier. It comes, you know, a little smoother. And then at the end of the month, on the 20th, when it changes into Gemini season, it's a whole different energy. It's air and it's mind, solely mind, you know, thinking, strategizing. Gemini being ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet that affects our mind and our thoughts and clarity and how we speak and how we communicate and commerce and work and jobs and you know, connections and technology and getting the word out, information, all of this all bundled up into one, with that duality of Gemini in the forefront of fun and play and mutable, and let's change and let's try this and let's try that, and, you know, just almost erratic, but yeah, a whole different vibe, right? But fun and very, very accommodating and harmonizing and complimentary for you, Leo, with the air qualities. So a lot of wonderful, positive, transformational energies happening, as always, every month, but very much so this month. And I would be remiss not to mention the new moon next month, which I'll be bringing back up, because I always light my new moon intentions candle. That's the time to really, really sit and write out those intentions, write out those drives and desires that you have so deeply, and those passions that you have. You take your incredible passionate side of you, Leo, and you combine it with the earthly, natural ways that life works and the systems, and you go with the flow, and it's heart and head and all the beautiful, holistic ways of doing things, doing life, doing relationships, and it just all works out really beautiful. And that drive in Taurus towards financial and materialistic things that they can touch, feel, that's what it's about for Taurus. The practical things, the material things in life. And your spirited energy together, it's a beautiful win-win kind of situation for you both. So let's read your 3 major categories I like to do for this particular highlighted connection. And then if it's not yours per se, I have my oracles that I read that has to do with every single Leo and every one of your highlight or your, connections of love. No matter what they are, it doesn't always have to be romantic. I always make that really clear. Though I am going to tell you, this month is predominant for romance, with the Venus aspect in Taurus, the unpredictability of Uranus in Taurus, which is surprises and out of the blue changes in information, in life, in love, new beginnings. Singles might really just be knocked off their feet by somebody that they meet, or in your relationship you've been in for some time, or family relationship, work relationship, it takes on a new flavor, a new taste. There's some initiative that takes it to another level. And that's super inspiring, because that's what makes us thrive in life, is the changes and the transformation. We do it all the time. And there's always invitations to do that. And if it doesn't happen this time, it'll happen in the next opportunity that brings in that flow of energy. So the 3 categories I like to read for, though, for this highlighted connection of Leo and Taurus today, are usually kind of the categories that would answer most questions for my viewers. And I appreciate you being here. Like I said, without you, it wouldn't have a channel. And it means a lot to me that you do support me, new and returning viewers. If you haven't subscribed, it would be a beautiful thing to do, and super supportive and free. And you just push the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. You're not going to get a bunch of emails back or anything like that. And then you can comment and we can have interaction, which I absolutely love. And let me know if you're vibing with this reading. It's important to me. I like to know that. It's exciting when it happens, and it does happen quite often. So the first category is always the overall energy bringing you to this reading this month, because we are at the beginning. This is the, first half of the month readings. If you didn't get a chance to watch last month's, the beginning or mid-months, it's always kind of cool to go back and see where it had led, if it's still on the same path, if it's gone to a different, level, and all the different aspects that happen in our lives on our daily, right? Spiritually and otherwise. So I think it's interesting. I really like and appreciate, like I said, the feedback when people saying, oh my gosh, yes, it was right on. And of course, it won't always resonate that moment. We had a flyer, and here we go. Here we go, Leo. It is the King of Wands. This is you. I mean, it's not you, but it could be you, because it could be any of the wands, any of the fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. And here you come out strong in your power, in your energy. And it's beautiful. The King is the mature of all of the, Knight cards, is that what I want to say? No, the court cards, forgive me. And just feeling really, once again, confident. Feeling that you have your emotions, your spirit, your intentions, your drives. You're feeling like you have them in control. You know where you're going. You're feeling like this is the time. You're rested. You're not stressed. A lot is, a good part of it is what you're doing to create this for yourself always, but there's always the co-creation part. And I think you're really feeling that right now. You're feeling more relaxed with this Taurus energy, as I mentioned, and then the highlighted aspect. So I think it's about you just kind of maybe having some fun. I think you need to get out and just breathe that deep breath of fresh air, and plan a vacation if you haven't. Take a stay vacation, enjoy the celebrations for the remainder of the Taurus season birthdays that you probably are a big part of, especially with the highlighted connection you have. I think it's super important to laugh and to enjoy your life to the fullest, regardless of what you need to put into action, or, you know, what's next on your agenda to keep you feeling that motivated, fiery, passionate self that you are. Just taking it in and knowing you've got this. You've been doing this. This is nothing new to you. You know, you usually lead. You usually are, you know, the one who likes to delegate and be the teacher for others. So sometimes it's nice to sit back and just kind of take it in and you know, listen to others. And that's a big part of this month too. It's the communication I mentioned. Listening to other people, because sometimes we can get some really juicy tidbits of information that we might not have thought of on our own, or in ways that we wouldn't have expected to. So it's really beautiful. Yeah, just standing in your power, sitting in your power. You're on your throne. You know, you are the king of your castle. That is the Leo in all its glory. So I like that a lot. That's beautiful. And then the second category is the possible blessings or obstacles. So it's like a streamlined story, of course, when it's with Tarot. And so let's see what it has to say so far with this highlighted connection and what's coming forth for you in the possible blessings or obstacles. Well, there you have the beautiful Page of Cups. That's the Piscean energy. That's that beautiful, creative information or message that's coming through about your inspirations, about love, about filling your cups, about a creative idea that just comes in and it seems like out of the blue, but maybe not. Maybe it's something you actually had in the back of your subconscious, you know, and it just kind of, that perfect synchronicity, that spiritual aspect of things that Pisces initiates and is so well known for, you know. I mean, they are so wise. They just have this intuition and ability to just understand the trends and the cycles and all of that. They take it in, they feel it. They're so deeply emotional and spiritually guided most of the time. So yeah, there's a beautiful newness. It could be a child, it could be talk of a child. Maybe you're in preparation for something like that. That change that's maybe inevitable in your mind, but never really thought about in this way, with this much passion before. Because that's what this is. This is beautiful, it's happy, and it's the beginning, because it's a child or youthful kind of energy. You know, right at the first stages, could be you just found out you're expecting a child, you've got months to go, you can prepare for it. You're feeling ready, you're feeling like, yep, I've got this. And it's loving, it's beautiful. It could be the child in you, and making sure that you never let go of that energy of laughter and fun, like I mentioned. You know, and talking with your inner child and becoming more familiar with it from past, you know, things that may have occurred and you never really quite maybe even healed. When it's Pisces energy, it's so many things, and it could be healing. It could be a transference of, you know, past things that maybe really affected you in your heart, in your life, in your childhood, and just wanting to be at peace and make peace with that. It comes pretty strongly in there too. But be prepared for a message if it hasn't come, maybe by the new moon. And it's a good one. It could definitely have to do with romance. So be prepared, but be prepared in a beautiful way, because that's a wonderful, beautiful card to get for happiness, and once again fulfilling your cups. And money, because fish represent you know, abundance. It's another sign for abundance. So it could be very much that you're like, I'd like to make some more money, and I feel like I definitely have what it takes, and this is my idea and inspiration. And so yeah, focusing on that, on the possibilities, the endless possibilities with that. And then the final is about the finances. So that is the energy of money, of course, and the currency and the ability to give and receive, which is essential when it comes to abundance and prosperity. You know, it is a currency. It's a momentum that has to happen in the law of attraction that you hear about all the time. What is it that you are being asked to be aware of this month in regards to finances? And it doesn't have to be money. It could be just your stability, your comforts, you know, your well-being and your health and so forth. All of those come into play when it has to do with money or finances and such. It's a form of wealth. And it doesn't always take on the energy of money, though. So let's see what it has to say for you. All the beautiful Taurus, and let's see, this is so gorgeous. And this is in relation, it kind of just carries on from the Page of Cups, and it's the Six of Cups. This is one of those happy, sentimental, Piscean, watery, you know, loving feelings. It's nostalgia. It's about just remembering the happy times and bringing it forth into this time and being so grateful, you know, because there's 6 cups there. You know, 6 represents balance, the give and take, the friends, the family, the people that matter the most, the wealth of that. And just, it's a happy time. I feel like, you know, when we enter into the retrograde, it starts on the end of the month. We'll start to feel the shadow period, but then throughout June, basically, it will be in Gemini. Mercury went into Gemini, and it'll extend there for, gosh, through July 8th or something like that, a long time, 11th maybe. And during that time, it can bring people back into your life, or, you know, I would say it's more on the line of friends, siblings, distant cousins, those kind of, you know, relationships with family. There's going to be repair and just reminiscing and beautiful opportunity to help each other. So you might be getting help with finances in some way you don't know about, an inheritance. And it doesn't always have to be from, you know, someone dying or passing away. It could be from many different things. So there's word about something, and then there's the 6. It goes from the page to the 6, and there's a castle, and there's a lot of abundant, you know, beautiful foliage in this, and flowers, and just that satisfactory feeling of contentment, you know, and knowing you have enough. We always have enough if we really believe and recognize that. Just being alive, truly, and breathing, and is enough. But, you know, of course, there's far more that we have and we dream about. It's just a natural thing being in a human body, right? I love this. This is really warm, and it reminds me very much of the energy of Pisces. And ironically, the beautiful planet of Jupiter that's been in Aquarius to this point, and through the 13th, will then go into Pisces for about 2.5 months as a preview of most of next year, not all next year, but a good amount of next year when Jupiter goes into Pisces. Well, that is a beautiful feel. Everybody feels a lot softer and calmer and more willing to get along and to just help, you know, for the sake of helping. There's that absolute, you know, part of most Pisces I've ever known that are just about giving and authentically loving and caring without necessarily wanting anything back in return. Just this honest feeling of just like, everybody, let us all get along, let us all love, let us all work and focus from our hearts, you know, that kind of energy. That's coming up. We're all going to be feeling it. I guess you're getting a preview right now. So that's your reading of the 3 major categories for this highlighted connection, Leo. And I'm going to finish it with this beautiful rune that I've been adding to kind of just get that, you know, period at the end, if you will, to just culminate the reading. Because I love the runes. They're an amazing oracle and very, very strong, powerful wisdom that comes through them. And your oracle today is I always get excited. There's so much synchronicity with this when I do it. Oh, it looks like the hourglass, but maybe this is the way that you put it up. I'm still learning them, and so I used my little reference book here, but it's an interesting symbol, and it's Manaz, M-A-N-N-A-Z, and it's number 20, and 2 is partnership, you know, of all forms, you know, and you have a passionate heart that won't stop, and you love love, and when you do love, you love fully and with no, you know, no holds barred. That's who you are. You're so incredibly extravagant and generous. And that's the actual, if you can see it, little glyph on this beautiful rune that is an amethyst that wards away toxicity and protects us and heals us. I always like to carry one in my pocket, especially when doing my massage therapist job. But let's read to you what it says. It is 20, like I said, and I'll go into the English interpretation. All right. Nope, that's not the English, because it has in like 3 or 4 different languages. We're almost there, right up to it. Okay, so the word for Manaz in, I don't even know, what is this? I'm not 100%. The gods, this is, I'll get back with that, is man, okay? So there's a definite masculine energy, which of course, the air and fire signs, I should say, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius are definite masculine energies, as are the air. They're the mind, and yeah, the fiery, the warrior type energy is always known to be masculine duality. Now, the time frame is between April 14th and April 29th. So it goes from Aries, fiery fellow sign to you, Leo, through to the end of the month, which is then becomes Taurus. So look at, isn't that interesting? It's so, this happens all the time when I read. That's what I love doing. I love spirit coming through. I love being able to be the messenger. And it's more than coincidental a lot of times. So I appreciate it. I hope you can recognize that. Yeah, I mentioned, you know, this is the highlighted connection for Leo and Taurus. And here we have the fiery time of Aries and Taurus. So yeah, fire and earth are working really well together. It's really important. It's the passion and the grounding put together. So the words next to it though are response. Well, that's what the main thing. The response from this beautiful rune is meditation, taking time to ground yourself in retreat, in relaxation, especially when the retrograde comes. It's all about that, internalizing and kind of renewing and reviewing and revisiting, you know, all the re's. Relaxing, introspective. Nope, I missed that one. Influence, idealism, autonomy, a suffered but certain legal victory. Ooh, that's got to be good for whoever percentage of you. Because I know how that can be, you know, even if it's about, you know, getting a loan or something of that nature, it's a legal part, right? So it could be on many categories that way, but the victory's there, and that's beautiful. And it's still prominent because it is during the season of Taurus. So once again, I feel a very strong pull and very prosperous time. Possible betrayal in love, it says. Now, that's not going to be for a lot of you. It does say that because there's always going to be the ups and downs, the, you know, the yin and yang of life. And it does say that. But you know what? If you have that communication, if you have that drive, if you have that passion, love conquers all and heals all. So that's going to be up to you specifically as a general reading, right? Because I don't know specifically what's happening in your charts and so forth. But I like it. I like it a lot. And, you know, the autonomy part's important, and the idealism, because you are a fixed sign, both of you are, and, you know, you hold strong to your ideals, and that's okay. You know, as long as you're open to newness and ideas, which you're going to have a lot of with the Aquarian energy this year, and with the Uranus planet of unpredictability, surprises, and change, and freedom, and outside of the box thinking in Taurus, it's going to be there for like 5 more years. It's huge, and it's important for us to be strong in our convictions and yet open-minded to the new and infinite possibilities. So going on to your oracles now. For every single Leo and all of your beautiful love connections, Leo, we have the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And I love it. And it's beautifully illustrated. And it is by Colette Baron Reed, who has many, many beautiful decks. And a wonderful spiritual, teacher, for sure. For today, though, Cinco de Mayo, we have your specific message from Spirit. And this beautiful oracle is the Dragon's Duel. Inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. Well, that's what I've always said about all of my readings. There's always these energies and these powerful, possibilities and, guidance that comes in. But there's always the conscious choice, our free will. I don't believe I've ever gotten this card. I'm being sincere, though my memory's not great sometimes. Here's the picture, though. Isn't that something? It looks like two dragons that are interlinked. And it almost looks like the infinity sign to me, because it's just eternal, constant, it's a constant, non-ending, aspect of our lives and, working through all the challenges and difficulties. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And there's the full moon there. We have the lunar eclipse on the 26th, which is our first of the 2 series eclipses at the end of May as well. And that will be in Sagittarius. There's that fire again. There's that burning desire for higher learning, for travel, for knowledge, for philosophical outlooks on things, for internalizing and understanding what we really believe to be the best for everybody, for ourselves, growing into that and being the best version of ourselves. There'll be a lot of changes and eclipses, things going out and in when the eclipses come around, and it's always for our best. So let us read what that specifically says. It's number 23, and in numerology that becomes 2 plus 3, which is a 5. 5 is all about change. It's there's no stopping it. It's fated. It's destined. And we're in a 5-year, and it's a 5-month. So that's pretty appropriate too. But I will be reading to you the message specifically about 23 for all of you beautiful Leos and all of your loving connections and relationships. The Dragon's Duel takes place at the proverbial fork in the road. It's both ally and challenger at once. It's the duality in all of us, in all of life. The polarities. Even it's you and Taurus. You work so well together, and yet you're so different, which is why there's that attraction, right? Even though the truth is that we live in unity, we experience the duality of faith and doubt, love and fear, right and wrong, black and white. This aspect of your current experience asks you to accept that although you may be going one way, another may call you to change direction. Now is the time to inquire whether it's your ego or your soul leading you. And being an ego-led, sun sign, it's a really important time to take that time to really sit and listen and empower yourself by doing just that, Ego's not a bad thing. It's just knowing, which part of you is being led by that. There are always choices in life. Decision-making always solves inner conflicts, If you're torn between 2 dragons, the one that you choose to feed will be the one that wins. That's the analogy there. Okay. And which is it? If it's not the one that serves the highest of your intentions, deliberately feed the other, and the duel would be won in your favor. And it really is that simple. And we really do have that power, and you most certainly do, Leo. And you can lead and show others in the process, You can be set by example, which would be fabulous. And so, yeah, those are those. And the last one in this reading is oh, no, it's not. I apologize. I added this in because I like it a lot. It's called the Motivation Manifesto Oracle, and it's by Brandon Burchard. But the reality is it can be very simple, short little sayings or, I don't know how to word it, other than to say that I love it because it's inspirational, it's inspiring, and it lifts you up to think, I like that. It's like a mantra. You know, something you can say over and over, and that kind of is going to change your energy in a positive way and remind you, yes, this is how it can be. Yes, I feel good with this. This sits well with me, you know? And the more we do that, the better our life gets. It starts the inside out. You have a short one. Your message says, oh my gosh, I feel like I just pulled this. We should not fear an obsession for building a great free life. I did, but it's so true. We should not fear an obsession, and that's an obsession to be all right with, for building a great free life. Always and forever. It is our right, you know? And there's that power in you to do that, Leo. I see it, I feel it so strongly when I read for you. Go for it. Lead by example. Be that teacher. Free will, free choice, free life. And then the last one is the Super Attractor Manifestation deck I absolutely love. And it is about, you know, creating the life you choose by feeling it into reality. You have that passion, you have that ability, you know, that's the spirit of the fire, boy. There's no mistaking it. Use it for the manifestational capabilities that you have, you know, because you're manifesting at all times. Do it and manifest directly and intentionally and see what happens. But do it because you're feeling good. It has to be a good feeling that brings good to you. Oh, I'm in awe of the magnificent guidance that's available to me. This is one of those pretty powerful ones, and you got the earth right in the center, and we're everywhere, we're everything, we're all connected. And it's about heart. It's definitely about heart and passion. And you got that in spades. That's a beautiful mantra, yes, affirmation, whatever you want to call it. Say it over and over and over and over again, and just watch things change just magically around you, even in the smallest of ways, right? Well, I love that reading. I feel beautiful. I hope that you're feeling this now, but give it some time. And just thank you again for your time now. Have a beautiful rest of the day, and come on back. I'll be here for your mid-month readings. You can compare and see how things are going. And until next time, take really good care of yourself. I love and appreciate you. Bye for now.